Coming up on The Rocks, the latest on the SGA elections.
An update on COVID and the CDC's halt of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine.
And a recap of SRU sports. All this and more coming up on The Rocks. Welcome back to On the Rocks. I'm Mac Bell.
And I'm Madison Williams.
As the pace of COVID-19 vaccinations picks up, the United States recommended a pause in the distribution of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine April 12th after discovering some recipients had developed a rare blood clot. After the CDC announced, the Pennsylvania Department of Health told all vaccine providers to stop administering the vaccine until at least April 20th. According to a joint statement by the CDC and the FDA Tuesday, 6 women between the ages of 18 and 48 had developed cerebral venous sinus thrombosis, along with a low level of blood platelets within 6 to 13 days after receiving the vaccine. Of those 6 women, 1 has died. According to Virginia health officials, CDC Deputy Director Dr. Ann Schuchat says those who received the Johnson & Johnson vaccine over a month ago, the risk is low.
I know there are people who have gotten the vaccine who are probably very concerned. For people who got the vaccine more than a month ago, the risk to them is very low at this time. For people who recently got the vaccine within the last couple weeks, they should be aware to look for any symptoms. If you've received the vaccine and developed severe headache, abdominal pain, leg pain, or shortness of breath, you should contact your healthcare provider and seek medical treatment.
The blood clot is the same condition that was reported with the AstraZeneca vaccine last month. According to Dr. Peter Marks, FDA Director of the Center for Biologics and Evaluation and Research, there has been no sign of this blood clot with the Moderna and the Pfizer vaccine. So far, the CDC says 6.8 million doses of the Janssen vaccine has been distributed in the U.S., and so far, more than 190 million doses of all 3 vaccines has been distributed throughout the country. Here in Pennsylvania, over 6.5 million total doses of COVID-19 vaccines have been administered. Starting this week, all Pennsylvanians are eligible to receive the vaccine and can schedule an appointment either through their health provider or at any of the mass vaccination sites throughout the state. On March 3rd, Pennsylvania announced it would quickly work to get K-12 educators and staff vaccinated with the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. According to the governor's office, more than 112,000 teachers and staff have been vaccinated at the beginning of April.
The third and final Intersectionality Forum is taking place today on Zoom at 5 p.m. The meeting is to encourage students to give feedback, questions, or concerns regarding diversity and inclusion on campus. The meeting will be hosted by President Barry and accompanied by SRU's Special Assistant to the President for Diversity and Inclusion, Terrence Mitchell. Students are encouraged to email Terrence Mitchell with any further questions or feedback at terrence.mitchell@sru.edu.
The trial against Officer Derek Chauvin for the killing of George Floyd back in late May of 2020 continues. Yesterday, the prosecution finally rested its case after bringing nearly 40 witnesses to the stand. Now the defense called its first witnesses to the stand, which include Scott Crichton, a former officer for the Minneapolis Police Department who responded to the scene of a past arrest of George Floyd in 2019, Michelle Mosing, a former paramedic who also responded to the 2019 arrest of George Floyd, Shonda Hill, Floyd's girlfriend who was in the backseat of the vehicle on that fatal day, May 25th, Peter Chang, a park police officer who was present at the scene of George Floyd's murder, Officer Nicole McKenzie, Minneapolis Police Department's medical support coordinator, was called back to the stand for a second time after being called previously by the prosecutor, and the last witness of the day was Barry Broad, a former police officer who is also a use of force expert for the defense. All of this comes as tempers flare in Minnesota on Monday after Officer Kimberly Potter, 48, shot and killed 20-year-old Dante Wright during a traffic stop after accidentally firing off her gun instead of her taser, killing the 20-year-old moments later after he crashed his vehicle further down the road. Since the incident, Potter has resigned from her position along with Minneapolis Police Chief Tim Gannon. Following the incident, Governor of Minnesota Tim Walz announced on Monday a curfew starting at 7 p.m., which lasted until Tuesday morning in response to the increasingly violent protests taking place. We will have more on the George Floyd trial and the Minnesota riots as more information becomes available.
After a quick commercial break, we'll be right back with the SGA results and more.
It starts with a dream, and then something, someone, or someplace happens. That is the difference between those who dream and those who make it happen. An experience where you're pushed, challenged, knocked down, picked up, encouraged to do better and to be better.
Check out our studio!
Make your dreams happen at Slippery Rock University. Experience the difference.
Go Rock! Do you remember when you were told not to play with fire? You were told to be quiet. When they said caring wasn't in your generation's DNA. When they said stop playing with toys. Do you remember when they said stop dreaming? At Slippery Rock, we inspire the dreams, the noise, the caring to challenge you to be your best. Now and in the future, Slippery Rock University. Experience the difference.
It starts with a dream, and then something, someone, or someplace happens. That is the difference between those who dream and those who make it happen. An experience where you are pushed, challenged, knocked down, picked up, encouraged to do better and to be better. Make your dreams happen at Slippery Rock University. Experience the difference.
Do you remember when you were told to put away your toys? Don't climb on that. Don't write on the walls. Go easy on the makeup. Do you remember when you were told to mind your own business and wait your turn? At Slippery Rock, we inspire the heights, the color, the caring for each other to challenge you to be your best. Now and in the future, Slippery Rock University. Experience the difference.
Welcome back. Now let's toss it to Joe with our SGA update.
Last week, the SGA held elections for their executive board and most of their senator positions. 38 students were elected to positions, with Mia Graziani elected president. After being elected, Graziani said she was thrilled about what the new academic year would bring. In a statement, she said, "I'm excited to help our campus reopen and bring life at SRU one step closer to our pre-COVID world. This year, I hope to continue that work that Joey and Gish had done for the diversity on campus. I also want to be reaching out to students in a more personal way through in-person information gathering meetings. I cannot wait for August 2021. For the College of Health, Engineering, and Science Senator position, the SGA will hold a runoff race tomorrow starting at 8 a.m. until midnight. Both Leah Corbett and Madison Moore tied. The winner will receive the Senate seat, while the other will be offered an at-large senator seat. According to Lauren Moran, 459 students voted in this year's election, which is up 101 votes from last year's election. During the SGA's formal meeting Monday, work was light as the semester begins to wind down. Along with approving previous meeting minutes, 2 former alum, Jude Butch and Macy Ackman, were approved to the organization's board of directors. The SGA will host its final formal meeting April 26th at 5 p.m. on Zoom. And that's your SGA update. Back to the desk.
The Martha Galt Art Gallery started showcasing the Bachelor of Fine Arts Spring 2021 exhibitions on Monday. These exhibits are the capstone projects completed by art majors graduating this May. In addition to Monday's events from the 12th to the 15th, artworks in graphic design from Michaela Bandka, presenting Pennsylvania Endangered Wildflowers, Sam Ferkley, presenting Digestive Health, Victoria Graboski, presenting Obake Karuda, and Taya Heller, presenting Bliss. Next week, the second set of students will show off their work, including artworks in ceramic by Mackenzie Gary, presenting Simply Modern, paintings by Nicole McGurrick, presenting On the Horizon, and ceramics and fiber arts by Madison Wick, presenting Bloom. The art gallery will also be hosting a Zoom open reception on Tuesday, April 20th at 7 p.m. Please email teresa.antonellis@sru.edu for the Zoom invite. However, due to COVID-19, the exhibit is only open in person to university students, faculty, and staff at this time.
In an email sent out Monday, the university is looking for volunteers to work during the commencement ceremonies on April 30th and May 1st. Volunteers are to be there 90 minutes prior for each ceremony and would be needed for greeting guests, taking tickets, and passing out programs and diploma covers. If interested, a sign-up sheet is available in the campus update, April 12th, 2021. The email received, or you can reach out to lisa.winsel@sru.edu.
The Musical Theater Society is putting on a virtual musical this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday as they are performing The Theory of Relativity. Laura Shope, president of MTS and director of the show, talked with us a bit on how she came up with the idea of a virtual show. Let's take a look.
Like I've said before to things, we usually do a musical every other year, and 2021 was scheduled to be a musical year. And I knew that I didn't want the seniors to go out without a musical and to have us not do a musical for an entire year, or like not do a show for an entire year. And so I was researching things, and then I came across MTI has these remote performance rights, which are designed to, they take normal shows and give you the right to do it wherever, remotely. So I found that and I was like, oh, this is perfect. And then I looked into it and submitted and proposed it to our e-board and was like, hi guys, I have this crazy idea. And they were all like a little skeptical, but then they realized that they were like, we can actually do this.
Each show starts at 8 p.m. and to get tickets for the virtual event, go to showtix4u.com/events/MTSTOR or check out their Twitter and Instagram at MTS_@_SRU for more information.
Make sure to stick around. We'll be right back with your sports update.
It starts with a dream, and then something, someone, or someplace happens. That is the difference between those who dream and those who make it happen. An experience where you're pushed, challenged, knocked down, picked up, encouraged to do better and to be better.
Check out our studio!
Make your dreams happen at Slippery Rock University. Experience the difference.
Go Rock! Do you remember when you were told not to play with fire? You were told to be quiet. When they said caring wasn't in your generation's DNA. When they said stop playing with toys. Do you remember when they said stop dreaming? At Slippery Rock, we inspire the dreams, the noise, the caring to challenge you to be your best. Now and in the future, Slippery Rock University. Experience the difference.
The SRU softball team played hard last Friday at their 2:30 p.m. game against Edinboro University. They ended up walking out of there with the end result of a win, 2-1. Here are some highlights from their first game of the doubleheader with Edinboro.
The designated player, number 14, Mackenzie Freeman.
The SRU baseball team has had a hot start to the season, currently 14-5, sitting at third in the PSAC West Division. The men's 4 games against Seton Hill were postponed last Friday and Saturday due to COVID-related issues with Seton Hill, resulting in the team having 10 days off since their wins against Gannon last Thursday. Here are some highlights from the Game 1 of the doubleheader sweep versus Gannon.
Top of the second, Gannon versus SRU. Ricky Mino gets a strikeout. This is his 4th hit. Gannon leads 1-0. Now, bottom of the second, Quentin Brown gets a liner right past the first baseman. This would be a leadoff single for the Rock. Now, still in business after a walk, Anthony Kincola hits an RBI single past the shortstop. This is going to score Quentin Brown and leave runners on the corners for Slippery Rock. Then another walk, bases loaded. John Corzina singles up the gut. 2 runs would end up scoring for Slippery Rock. This would end up making it 3-1 early, still in the bottom of the second here. Now top of the third, Brandon Weatherholt for Gannon hits a deep double. This thing goes towering out to center, left center, and the center fielder throws it in, but he walks in standing. Then few batters later, Ian Hess lines one down the third base line. This would bring in Weatherholt, and it would make the score 3-2. Slippery Rock is still in the lead, though. But now we can jump into the bottom of the 4th, where Abraham Moe tees off for his first home run of the season to deep left field. This would put Slippery Rock up 4-2, and they would end up going on to win the game 5-4. In the second game of the doubleheader, they would also win 4-3 to sweep Gannon and get a split over their 4 games.
This past Saturday, the track and field team traveled to Indiana University of Pennsylvania to participate in the IUP Invite. The women won 4 events Saturday and a lone win for the men by Dan Hyatt in the pole vault. Trinity Clark won the javelin throw with a 44.04 meter throw, just shy of her season high. In the pole vault, Kendall Grossman won with a 3.50 meter clearance, and in the high jump, Cicely Greggs recorded a 1.60 meter jump to win the event. The last win for the women came from the 4x100 meter relay team, led by Samantha Gilbert, Lorna Spiegel, Tylen Pierce, and Reagan Hess, as they won in 48.21 seconds. The Rock will be getting back to action this Thursday and Friday at home for 2 events. First, by Mike Coble, multi-meet on Thursday and Friday, and then the Bill Lennox Invite on Friday. These are just the 2nd and 3rd events in SRU since May of 2019, as the season was canceled due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
The Major Leagues began their regular season with opening day being April 1st. The Pittsburgh Pirates fans have been taking advantage of the cheap tickets and are heading to the stadium for fun. Tickets are going for as cheap as $20 a person and for up to 4 people in a group. Thus far, the Pirates are sitting at 3 wins and 7 losses, but play again this week versus the Padres. They're sitting in last place of the Central Division, while the Reds are in first, followed by the Brewers, Cardinals, and the Cubs. As for the West, the Dodgers are leading, and the Phillies are in the East. We're so glad to have baseball back.
With 42 games played thus far, the Pittsburgh Penguins have won 27 and lost 13. The impressive record comes with 2 overtime losses and 56 points scored total. This puts the team at 3rd place within the East Division, underneath the number 1 Washington Capitals and the number 2 New York Islanders. The Penguins defeated the Devils in their latest series of 2 games with a score of 6-4 and 5-2. Over last week, they acquired forward Jeff Carter from the LA Kings for a conditional 2022 third-round pick, and additionally, they'll have to receive a conditional 2023 fourth-round pick. This all comes right before they'll take on the Flyers this Thursday at 7 o'clock.
Over the past week, Prince Phillips and the artist DMX have passed away, and we'll have more on that after this commercial break.
Do you remember when you were told to put away your toys? Don't climb on that. Don't write on the walls. Go easy on the makeup. Do you remember when you were told to mind your own business and wait your turn? At Slippery Rock, we inspire the heights, the color, the caring for each other to challenge you to be your best. Now and in the future, Slippery Rock University. Experience the difference.
It starts with a dream, and then something, someone, or some place happens. That is the difference between those who dream and those who make it happen. An experience where you're pushed, challenged, knocked down, picked up, encouraged to do better and to be better.
Check out our studio!
Make your dreams happen at Slippery Rock University. Experience the difference.
Go Rock!
Do you remember when you were told not to play with fire? You were told to be quiet. When they said caring wasn't in your generation's DNA. When they said stop playing with toys. Do you remember when they said stop dreaming? At Slippery Rock, we inspire the dreams, the noise, the caring to challenge you to be your best. Now and in the future, Slippery Rock University. Experience the difference.
It starts with a dream, and then something, someone, or someplace happens. That is the difference between those who dream and those who make it happen. An experience where you are pushed, challenged, knocked down, picked up, encouraged to do better and to be better. Make your dreams happen at Slippery Rock University. Experience the difference.
On Friday, April 9th, Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, passed away at the age of 99. The cause of his death has not been given, but the royal family said that he died peacefully while at Windsor Castle.
And rapper DMX passed away at the age of 50 after being on life support for a week due to a heart attack. Born Earl Simmons, DMX quickly rose to the top of the music charts with his debut album, It's Dark and Hell is Hot, in 1998. A successful rap career that included hits like Rough Riders Anthem and X-Gone Give It To Ya, DMX also started in a few movie roles that, throughout the 2000s, debuted in Jet Li and Aaliyah Romeo's Must Die. Throughout his adult life, DMX would battle drug addiction and the law. In 2019, he was released from prison after a one-year sentence for tax evasion. He's survived by his 15 children and his fiancée.
The final round of the Pashi-wide esports tournament is happening on Sunday, April 25th, and the game is Counter-Strike Global Offense. The tournament will be played out in a double elimination 1v1 format and will be bracket featured on Challenge. The prize for winning first place is over $130 in PC gaming accessories. So far, there are 12 Pashi students signed up, but as we saw in the previous esports tournaments, numbers will rise greatly as we get closer to the 25th. The entirety of the tournament will be streamed and casted on Twitch by SRU Esports President Adam Schultz, and you can watch the game live at twitch.tv/SlipperyRockEsports. Check-in for players will be at 8:30 in the morning, and the games will be starting at 9. Any questions about the tournament can be directed to Adam at als1054@sru.edu. If you haven't registered yet, head on over to challenge.com/PaShiCSGO and stake your spot in the intense battle of the Pashi students.
If you're a movie lover, then you don't want to miss the SGA Outdoor Movie Series. On Friday, April 23rd, SGA is hosting a watch party for Wonder Woman 1984. The movie will start at 8 p.m. in the quad, and don't forget to bring a blanket.
Well, that's all the news that we have for you this week, and we come close to the semester with our final show, and that's coming up April 28th. Stay blessed, stay safe, and have a good night.